to make the first episode of a brand new soap. It's going to be made entirely by the students in the class, all the way through from the idea stage, so coming up with the characters, developing the storylines, writing the script, and then tomorrow we are going to shoot it, edit it, and then we're going to view it and evaluate it, which is also really, really important.
So today I've been learning about how to make a storyline, basically. So like how the beginning of the whole soap works, so how the storyline first begins. So for example, right now we've learned how to just shorten it out instead of writing a big script. Just get a feel of what we think the story should be, like the base of it.
We just came up with a side story, which is about Peter and Amelia because they have an inappropriate relationship.
It's been a really hard day already. I feel like they've had to really stretch their minds. We had quite a difficult section of today where they had to put their scenes in the order for their episode, and that got quite tense at times. They were getting quite tired, you could tell. Even my brain was starting to get a little bit muddled, but that's the reality. I'm really excited to see how they get on with this next stage, which is writing their script, which they're working on right now, because they can't really sleep tonight until they've got their scripts together ready to shoot tomorrow.
Me and Ahmed here are just editing our location scenes that we did for the pub scenes. We filmed those ones for about an hour. So we filmed the bathroom scenes and we got all the actors here. We made sure that everyone who was here, who needs to be here, was on time. Meanwhile, I'm just going to create the graphics until I get my studio shots back. But yeah, when that happens, then we'll be able to put everything back and hopefully have everything done before 3 o'clock. So, you know, fingers crossed, I think.
I'm editing the materials we shot, so I'm trying to organize the shots according to the script that I have here, cleaning them, doing the cuts and the edits, the sound, and sending back to Josh to finish the editing.
So I'm the executive producer and I'm basically in charge of all the problems, scheduling, making sure that everything runs smoothly throughout the day.
It's 12 o'clock, you've got to have it finished in 3 hours. How does that feel?
I think there's a lot of pressure, especially because we had such a short amount of time just to create the whole thing. But last night everyone was really dedicated to finish all the script, to do the storyboard, to write down what we need for props. And so I think doing all that preparation really helped us today because we knew which scene needed to be shot together. We knew how it was going to be more or less. Obviously some things are always going to go wrong on set, but we were prepared in some way, so that really helped us, and we're actually on schedule, so I think 1 hour and a half everyone to edit everything and we'll be done by 3.
I'm Amelia. I'm the wayward teen that's the one that's supposedly pregnant. Me and the lovely Peter here are in a relationship and he's the one that's got me pregnant.
Yeah, so I'm Callum and I play Peter. And I'm a school teacher who has been having relations with one of her students. And we've had some really odd scenes that we've had to shoot, which I have never done before, that sort of shooting. I don't do much acting, but it was really interesting to see like how...
I was trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Like we would get very, very close and we would just both burst out laughing and trying to get it done in a short amount of time and trying to pull it together. It's just, that was fun.
My main role has been the script editor, so yesterday was a stressful day. Today I've kind of been like hopping about, I've helped direct a few things, I've helped with some editing just.
Okay, so how long's left?
We've just got less than 2 hours to go, so it's quite fraught time now. We've got one scene left to shoot and they have started editing, so we'll see how it all comes together. Some of them have got much better skills in certain areas than others. There's
start of rumblings of it as they're editing now. There's clearly some people who've got loads more editing experience, loads more, they've experienced of problems in the edit suite before, so they're starting to tap in and realise that certain people might be quite useful to them in terms of getting the project actually finished.
At the moment we are editing the work that we are doing so that we can put it all together.
And are you confident that it's going to get done?
Yeah, 100% sure it will get done on time. Maybe a bit later, but you know, we'll try that.
Are you looking forward to seeing it?
Yeah, I can't like that's why I'm waiting now, because I can't edit, so I can't help with the editing, but I'm staying here in uni until it's finished.
And tell me about your character and well, his sexual encounter in the garage.
Ah, yes. Well, Flint. Well, yeah. I mean, Flint. I mean, there was another scene as well in the pub, but the one in the actual garage itself. He was actually speaking to Michael, I believe, who was coming round. And Michael was sort of like being a bit sort of gossipy and a bit sort of, oh yeah, I've got back to you here now. What does he want to talk to me about? And then I sort of sprung it on him a bit because he was thinking that I was interested in someone else. So being this sort of villainous person, I came across as like I was using someone, and I was using, I think it was Erica, I think. Could be wrong, to try and get closer to him. So the sexual encounter then, yes, you know, as a gay character, I sort of made a bit of advance towards him, if you like, and they cut it just at the moment where we were sort of getting closer, if you know what I mean.
So at the moment we've got one scene that was unedited because it was on the machine of another group that had a technical issue. We've got another scene, I think, that's missing footage at the moment, where the footage was left on a memory card. Somebody thought somebody else was dealing with it, and we're kind of approaching a deadline. So in a minute, I've got a decision to make whether to extend the deadline to allow them the time to get themselves together. There's quite a few that have kind of stepped back now because they feel like they've done their job. But actually, right at the very beginning of the project, we talked about if we sit down and watch an incomplete episode, it's down to everybody in the room to make that complete episode. So I want to see them now start to really hustle and try and fix some of these problems, get things solved. Otherwise, there's no point in me giving them an extension.
So we've just finished, we've had the screening. How was it for you?
I really loved it. You know, they made an actual episode, the very first episode of their very first soap that they've ever made, Parkside. Had everything that I could have asked for. Yes, there were a few production issues. Yes, some things were a little bit rough around the edges, but it told a story, and it was their story that they'd created with their characters. They worked super hard. You know, I was a bit worried when we came up with this workshop that they were going to struggle with the amount of work that we had to get done in 2 days, but they've managed to really pull it together. Yes, if we'd have had an extra day, it might have been a little bit more polished. It probably wouldn't have been, because they'd have probably not worked as hard or as fast. But you know, you can always wish for more time. If you had more time, you know, you could always polish things up. But the actual process of what they learnt, I feel like they really got something out of it, and they got an understanding of what it's really like to make a soap. I'm not sure whether all of them want to work in soap now or whether all of them enjoyed it, but I really enjoyed it, and I'd, you know, happily come back and like to see the next episode be made. So I really loved it.
And what was it like coming back to BCU, you know, when you were a student here, a decade ago, and now you've returned?
It's scary to come back. It's a lot more glossy at BCU than it ever was when we were in that old Baker building. It's a lot more shiny, everything's a lot newer, but also the students are amazing. Like, I don't think I was as together as a lot of these students are when I started on the course at BCU, or even when I finished on the course at BCU. So the fact that they've managed to do this project and really well, and you know, they were handling themselves with such professionalism and just really grafting away. I'm really, like, it's just been amazing to come back. It's really blown me away, and I just think that, you know, people should be a bit scared for their jobs if this is what is coming out of BCU.